Good morning, it's Saturday, May 9th, and today's topic was particularly timely for me, and I suspect for many of you as well. So hopefully somebody gets as much out of it as I did by going through the exercise and putting pen to paper on the topic from the Daily Stoic, which is, will I seize this day? So some days you're just not going to have it. From the moment you wake up, you feel something missing. That excitement to get started is gone, and you're tempted to just roll back over and shut your eyes and go back to sleep, with hopes that when you come back to, you'll feel differently. And maybe that works. Maybe it was just your body saying that it was overtaxed and undernourished, but not always. Most of the time, I think that feeling of funk is due primarily to something deeper that no amount of sleep is going to rectify. So just like anyone, I know this feeling too, and in fact, I'm dealing with it right now. Through this period of stay-at-home enforcements, I felt the ups and downs transition in and out, just like the moon waxes and wanes. As depression creeps in, as my motivation becomes more elusive, as my self-discipline begins showing chinks in the armor, I remind myself that this too shall pass. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that time is a river, a violent current of events, glimpsed once and already carried past us, and another follows and is gone. Now, when I hear this, it speaks to me in two ways. The first is an acknowledgement of the transience of life. This funk you feel, this moment is not your life. It's simply a moment in your life. So take comfort in knowing that. And the second reminder I take from Marcus's line is one on the fleetingness of life. Seneca warns us against realizing too late the swift and unstoppable flight of time and are left behind. As each day arises, welcome it as the very best day of all, and make it your own possession. We must seize what flees. So Carpe Diem, my friends. We've now acknowledged two things that we believe to be important and true. One, life is transient, and two, life is fleeting. But sometimes that isn't enough. It isn't enough knowing that to help me change how I feel. I still want to stay hidden away under my covers. I don't want to an adult today. I can't escape the clutches of the resistance. Its claws are too deeply sunk into my skin, pulling me back away from my goals, away from what I know to be the correct destination. Fortunately, we're prepared for this. We have a secret weapon that we've already designed and keep ready just for situations like this, when no amount of self-control, self-talk, and rational thought is enough to slay the resistance. We know that self-control and willpower are just temporary solutions that will inevitably fail us from time to time as our reserves are depleted. But a well-designed system, now that is a different story. That's the fortifying inner wall of our citadel. Remember, you don't rise to the level of your goals, but you fall to the levels of your systems. And that's what we need in times just like these. Once you've designed your system and solidified your habits, the activation energy required to overcome the resistance is substantially reduced. We aren't forced to think through countless decisions, many of which we'd rather not make in moments of funk just like this. We simply go on autopilot. The system says, trust me, I got you. So what's that look like for me? As I mentioned, I wake up in the morning and I have that not today mindset. But I know I only have to muster enough energy to successfully get through one decisive moment, the decision to get up and set the morning routine in motion. And that seemingly monotonous sequence of actions and events that I carry out day to day. From there, inertia takes over, and I'm going through the motions. Maybe I'm not super jazzed about doing it, but I know from careful planning and refinement that it will address the areas of prime importance to me, both mentally and physically. I'm almost certain to emerge on the other end in a radically different psyche than I started, heading down a much more positive trajectory in my day. And if for some reason that cloud still hangs over me, well, it was still better than the alternative, than the prospect of succumbing to the resistance. I still showed up even when I didn't want to, all because I took the time to rely on my systems. Now get out there and go seize that day. Have a great one. Bye.